So, lads, the Indiana Fever are playing tonight, and they are playing against the Seattle Storm. They are playing against the Seattle Storm in a game that I think they need to win. The Fever absolutely need to win. This is not like maybe they can win, maybe they can. No, this is a must-win game. Why? Because if you guys have not seen the standings, they may go out of the playoffs if they lose tonight. They could go out of the playoff spots if they lose tonight. So the Sparks are playing the Mercury at 3 a.m., a game that I'm probably going to watch. I'm not going to go live for it because that's just not happening. But I will keep an eye on that game. And if you're looking right now, like the Liberty are in 5th, and Liberty are lucky to be level on games with the Mercury. Like, the Liberty got very lucky against the Connecticut Sun yesterday. Shout out Layla Khan. She's going to be a star. But, and also, it's very clear with the way the Liberty are, the MMS man made the wrong choice not going to the Lynx. Her game style suits the Lynx so much more, and you can see with Stewie there, suddenly she's pushed to the bench. Suddenly she's on the bench for the Liberty, whereas you could have very easily have just moved, because Stewie can't shoot the ball anymore, you can't really move Stewie to the 3. So Kennedy Burke is starting over. I think the Liberty will figure it out at some stage. They'll figure it out, and I think as long as the Liberty aren't in the 4-5 matchup, if the Liberty fall, like if you're the Liberty, you either want to get the 3 or fall to 6. You want to get the 3 or fall to 6, and they're unfortunately a game and a half off 3, so I don't see them doing that. But it's going to be an interesting one. But if you see here the Sparks, if they win, the Fever lose. Fever are out of the playoffs. And I don't give the Fever that much of a chance of winning this game. Like, the Storm match up super duper well to the Fever, and the Fever are gone through an injury crisis. Like, Chloe Bibby is obviously out. Caitlin Clark is still out. My prediction is that Caitlin Clark will be back for the Chicago Sky game at the end of the year. That's my prediction. I don't think she's not coming back on this. She's not coming back tonight, and she's definitely not coming back on a road trip. But that will be my prediction. She hasn't done anything close to full practice, and they're not going to have a real full practice. So that would be my guess for it all. But like the Storm, they're in a good bit of form right now. Like, they're on a 3-game win streak. And it's not like these have been all bad games or all games that, like, they're guaranteed to have won. They beat the Sky. They beat the Dallas Wings by they beat the Dallas Wings by 35, and they had a close game against the Mystics, which they pulled, like, Nekawumke hit a game winner. They beat the Atlanta Dream, which isn't an easy win. And, like, look, they're on a roll. They're absolutely on a roll. And in the game they lost to the Phoenix Mercury, it was by 3. So, they're not, other than the Seattle, other than the Wings, they've been really kind of close games, wins or loses, but they just have too much talent. I just think they've got too much talent for us. And by the way, I just want to say this right now. The Indiana Fever are no guarantees to beat the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese is that. The team, Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins together are a really good combo. They are a really, really good combo. Like, when Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese are there, the Sky are not that bad. But like, even if you look here at the Dallas Wings game, like the Seattle Storm's bench outscored. Everyone talks about, the Seattle Storm. No, the Seattle Storm's bench outscored the entire Wings team. Like, off their bench, they had Wheeler give you 17, Malonga 22, Tiffany Mitchell gave 11, even Lexi Brown did okay. But like, for the Fever, when we look at matchups, the one main advantage they have is the Kelsey Mitchell versus Brittany Sykes matchup. But like, they have Brittany Sykes, Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins, and Erica Wheeler to all rotate onto Caitlin Clark. So not Caitlin Clark, she's Kelsey Mitchell. They have Dominique Malonga, Ezzy Magbagor, and to guard Aaliyah Boss, and they have Neka Wumake to guard Natasha Howard. Like, I think the Seattle Storm could fuck about and win the whole thing. Like, that's how high. Like, I think it's, for me, the Lynx, I think, are going to beat whoever they face. I think any other team in the top 8 other than the Valkyries. Even if the Sparks make it in. If the Sparks somehow get in at 7, like you're trying to tell me that the Sparks don't have a puncher's chance against the Dream? They do. Any of the top 9, take out whoever faces the Lynx. I think the Lynx are just going to steamroll everybody on their way to the finals. Everybody else can get got. And I think the Storm are one of those teams where they're finding form at the right time. They're doing the opposite to last year. I know they went in a 6-game losing streak, but they're now starting to like win games again. They're starting to compete against all the top teams. They're starting to play well. And player for player, they're way better than last year. Like, no Jewel Lloyd is big. No Jewel Lloyd. And they've also got, again, they've just got players to match up. Like, I don't see how the Fever win this game. I just don't. But at the same time, like, you never know. You just never know. The Fever could pull off a win. And a lot of the times I kind of ride off the Fever. They end up cooking. A lot of the times when I ride off this team, they end up absolutely cooking. So, who knows? Maybe the Indiana Fever are going to be in a really good spot. Maybe they're going to win this game. But I'm kind of writing them off. I think we're now at the stage where we are praying that other teams lose. Because I think we go 0-2 in our next 2. And then we got to go beat the Vox. We got to go beat the Vox. I don't see the Fever beating the the Storm tonight. I don't see the Fever beating the Sparks. And if the Fever lose, no matter what, if the Fever lose their next 2, they're out of the playoffs. They're out of the playoff spots. And then we got to go beat the Vox. Like, I think the Vox in Valhalla is going to be so tough to beat. And then it might get to the stage where if we lose to the Vox, we're going to lose to the Mercury. And then suddenly, even unless we win tonight, we're 3 games below 500 with 3 games to go. And then we got to weigh up the options of if the Connecticut Suns start winning, we're going to have the odds we're going to be likely odds-wise to get the 4th pick. And I'm like, is getting pummeled by the Minnesota Lynx worth? Like, is getting into the 8th seed, even with Caitlin Clark, because she's been hurt, getting pummeled by the Lynx, is that worth going from pick 4, where you're going to almost certainly get one of Awafam or Easy Foot? Because I would be shocked if one of those 2 are not available, because some teams are going to be dumb as fuck and take Lauren Betts. And then Olivia Miles is there. If you can manage to get Easy Foot or Olivia or that, or then you fall down and you start to go into the Gianni Neepkin sweepstakes, who's nowhere close to being as good. Like, I don't know. I think going up 4 spots in a draft is a better outcome. And look, obviously the players are going to want to go and win. But, like, let's be honest, a lot of the top teams in the WNBA have benefited from not making the playoffs in recent years. Like the New York Liberty didn't make the playoffs, benefited from that in Sabrina Ionescu's first full season and her rookie season. Because of that, they were able to draft Michaela Onyenwere, who was Rookie of the Year in 2021. And yeah, they didn't do particularly well that season, but it allowed them to draft Niara Sably the following year. Onyenwere was then a trade piece used in the Marina Mabry trade. Because she had such a good rookie year, she had huge value. So she had big value in that, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was used in that trade. And look at where the Liberty are right now. And I understand the Fever have lost a bunch, but like the Phoenix Mercury are only in the position they're in right now because they had an absolute disaster shit show of a 2023 season. And they were able to, because of that, they were able to go and get a really high draft pick and used that draft pick to trade for Kalia Copper. As well as that, if you look at the Seattle Storm had an absolute shit show of a 2023 season. What they were able to do with that was they were able to get a really, really high draft pick. And they used that pick to go and trade with the LA Sparks. And it's why they're going to get the LA Sparks pick for this year. And it's, am I right in saying? What else did they get in that trade? Well, they got off Kia Nurse's contract. Sorry. They got off Kia Nurse's contract with that trade, and they got Sparks pick this year. And by getting off Kia Nurse's contract, they were able to, they had the salary cap for Skylar Diggins and Neko Umake. So, look, there's no, all of these top teams have tanked at one stage or another, especially when it comes to an injured season. How many teams in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks could have made the playoffs and got absolutely destroyed by the Oklahoma City Thunder. When instead they get Cooper Flag. Like, it's not a worst thing in the world. But anyway, they could literally be out of the playoffs if they lose tonight.